Welcome back. So for the very first time since the Wagner Group rebellion, the Kremlin is confirming President Vladimir Putin of Russia met with Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, and it was on June 29th, just days after the uprising. There was, of course, widespread speculation about his whereabouts since the short-lived mutiny. And also new into us today, this video right here is showing Russian military chief of staff General Valery Gerasimov. It is the first time we've also seen him since the mutiny. Prigozhin repeatedly denounced Gerasimov and Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu for denying supplies to his fighters in Ukraine. Here to discuss these new developments and also the huge NATO summit this week, Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, retired from the U.S. Army and the author of Operation Dark Heart, Spycraft and Special Ops on the front lines of Afghanistan. Tony, great to see you.
Good to see you too. Good to be here.
Yeah, I'd like to get your read first to the development that we've learned that there was a meeting, Prigozhin and Putin met days after the rebellion, but also the fact that the top military leaders are still there. What's your read on this?
So we're trying to figure it out. The Russians are masters of deception. We knew this during the Cold War. We actually are having a really hard time discerning this. Now, we do know a couple things on our side. We do know the group, the Gang of Eight, the senior members of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees and leadership were briefed on something before the Prigozhin attempted coup or insurrection happened. We need to find out what America knew then and what's going on now. And this whole thing, and again, I've talked to you about this in the audience, like we can't put our ethics, our framework, our methodology of how we manage war on them. This is The Sopranos meets The Hunt for Red October. These are a bunch of thugs who came up together. And so I do believe that Putin and Prigozhin are both out to do things which benefit them personally. And I think Prigozhin acted in some way to do that. So that's what I think we know. But at this point, we're going to have to learn more about what happened in that meeting between Prigozhin and Putin to find out where it's all going.
All right, so we'll hold for that and see what comes from your intel. But let's talk about the NATO summit this week. Obviously, like none other than before, really historic. War in Ukraine, no end in sight, seemingly. There's concerns of really, frankly, a world war, nuclear issues here. And you have President Zelensky wants to be part of NATO. Biden says he'll offer continued support, not membership. Obviously, a lot of people are saying, why is that even on the table here? We're looking at, Article 5 of NATO.
Exactly. Your point is completely correct. We have to be careful. The moment Ukraine would become a NATO member, the moment they can invoke and would invoke Article 5, which extends the war to Europe to make it a true world war. And yeah, your point regarding nuclear weapons is very important. We do know that they have moved nuclear weapons from Russia into Belarus. Belarus is now one of the locations that they've been very clear that they would use nuclear weapons if there's an extended war. And obviously Belarus would be included. If Poland gets involved, it's a domino effect. It would be very bad. Now, we've had mixed signals from different NATO members. Now, President Erdogan of Turkey saying, oh yeah, we're all for it. Hungary, Germany are now saying, no, they're not for it. There's a whole bunch of issues that relate to a lack of focus within NATO of what's supposed to happen next. And Vilnius is going to be the big issue. President Biden will be there for the summit. I think it starts on the 12th, a day and a half from now. So this will be a big deal for that. And President Biden, most importantly, has said he's not going to support Ukrainian membership. So that's not going to happen without the United States supporting that idea.
Yes, we'll see what does come of the summit. Obviously, Sweden has been approved there, so that we expect. But there's also some side deals, as you alluded to, going on. So we watch that very closely. But I want to get your take also, Colonel Shaffer, on something that President Biden said during an interview with CNN. He was talking about the reason that they provided cluster munitions, somewhat of a controversial move to Ukraine. He says it's because the U.S. is running out of 155mm artillery shells. A lot of folks are saying, why would you share that sensitive information when the world is watching?
I'm with you. Look, we've talked about the shortage of ammunition here on the channel because we say it in such a way to say we need to do better. We need to be prepared. For the president to say that, I think, opens the door for some very bad things to happen. And it's one of the situations where I think It just indicates again to all of us that President Biden, as much as you love him, hate him, I'm not here to judge him as an individual. I'm just here to judge him as commander in chief. You have to understand that him saying this as a matter of policy means something. You can't have this said, and now I think it's been said, you can't put the toothpaste back in the container. People are going to start paying attention to this, and I think this encourages others to act if they know that we depleted our wartime stocks to the point of where we have a critical deficit that even the president knows about. This is not a good thing.
No, and it's such a perilous time for the world right now and for the West indeed.
Yes.
I wish we had more time. Lieutenant Colonel Tony Shaffer, as always, a pleasure to see you. Great analysis.